Welcome! Today we're exploring the origins of postmodernism in design, a bold, sometimes controversial movement that reacted against the sleek functionality of modernism. We'll look at how it's developed, who led it, and where we still see its impact today. Postmodernism isn't a design style, it's a cultural shift. It arose in the late 20th century as a response to a perceived limitation of modernism. Where modernism was logical and minimalist, postmodernism is emotional, chaotic, and often ironic. This movement gained momentum in the 1970s and 80s. Designers were growing tired of the less is more modernist approach. Influences ranged from pop culture and historical revival of skepticism, of universal truths, an idea that postmodernism directly challenges. Key features include irony, eclecticism, and visual exaggeration. Designers often mash up past styles with bold colors and playful shapes. The goal wasn't efficiency, it was expression. Objects didn't just have to function, they had to say something. Led by Etron Soches, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, the Infis group redefined what furniture and design could be. Their work rejected clean lines and embraced flamboyant color, form, and humor. The Carlton bookcase is a great example. It looks more like an abstract sculpture than shelving. The comparison helps us understand the ideological split. Modernism believes in universal design truths. Postmodernism believes in personal, contractual meaning. It's a shift from minimalist to maximalist, from order to organized chaos. In graphic design, postmodernism broke all the rules. Designers like Dave Carson made layouts that felt more like visual experiments than clean composition. Typography was no longer sacred. It could be deconstructed, disordered, or even unreadable. You can spot postmodernism design in buildings, fashion, and advertising. Architects like Frank Gehry create buildings that look like sculptures. Designers like V.V. Westwood use punk to challenge norms. Even TV graphics in the 1980s embraced neon pastiche. Despite its creativity, postmodernism has critics. Some say it's too shallow or self-indulgent, style over substance. Others argue its lack of clear rules make it hard to evaluate or teach. These debates are part of what makes the movement so intriguing. Postmodernism ideas are alive in digital aspects, memes, cultures, vaporwave, and nostalgic branding. Designers today borrow from the past with irony and awareness, much like postmodern pioneers did. Now we're going to look at some real-world examples and decide together, is this postmodernism? I'll show each image giving a bit of background and then ask you to tell me whether you think it fits the postmodernism values or not, and why. So the first example is the Carlton bookcase. This ironic bookcase is a key feature in the Memphis group. It looks more like a sculpture than a functional furniture. The color clashes, the materials are cheap, and it has a playful, almost nonsensical form. So do you think it's postmodernism? Why or why not? The second example is the Portland building. This building mixes cartoonish colors with classical columns that serve no structural purpose. It's decorative, ironic, and huge break form Modernist architecture. Some love it, others criticize it for being impractical. Is this postmodernism? Does it challenge the idea of form follows function? Example 3. Ray Gun Magazine. David Carson's layouts are often unreadable. He ignored traditional grid systems and clarity, focusing instead on visual emotions. This is a rejection of clean, rational style of modernist graphic design. Would you call this effective design? Is it postmodernism in splits? Fourth example, here we see Westwood using tartan and crosets, symbols of tradition, twisting them into rebellious anti-established designs. This mashup of style and ironic reuse of history is very postmodernism. What do you notice? Does fashion count as a postmodern design? And the final example is the Apple website. This one's difficult, clean, minimal layout, natural colors, consistent font. It focuses on clarity and function, which aligns more with modernist principles than postmodernism. So would you call this postmodernism, or is it too structured? Why do you think Apple chooses this style? To wrap up, postmodernism challenged the rational, clean ideas of modernism. It gave designers the freedom to question, to mix, to play, and it continues to shape visual culture even now. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've covered. I'll read through each question and feel free to think quietly, write down your thoughts or raise if you like to share. Question 1. What was postmodernism's reacting against in the world of design? We're looking for the idea that postmodernism was a direct response to the minimalist and functional of modernist design. Postmodernism designers reject the notion that form had to follow function. Number 2. Name one key characteristic that distinguished postmodernism design. There are several possible answers here. Use of irony, bold color schemes, visual color, mixing of past styles, or a playful and theoretical approach. Question 3. Who founded the Memphis group and why is it significant? This group was founded by Soches. It played a central role in postmodernism design by introducing colorful, rule-breaking furniture and interiors that celebrated decoration and rejected minimalist norms. Question 4. How does postmodernism graphic design differ from modernist graphic design? Modernist graphic design is often clean, grid-based, and easy to read. Postmodernism graphic design, by contrast, might look chaotic or even confusing, embracing the deconstruction, disoriented, and layered visuals. And lastly, question 5. Can you think of a modern example, whether in fashion, architect, or media, that reflects postmodernism values? This is open-ended, so let's bring in examples from their own experiences. You might prompt with examples like social media graphics, fashion brands like Moscato, or buildings like the Dancing House in Prague. And for this last slide, these are the key sources for today's lesson. I encourage you to explore them further, especially the VA and Tate materials, which were kind of hard to show video-wise, which they do provide fantastic overviews of this movement. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, link in the description down below.